Hello people of YouTube, I come to you today with another attempt. I have worked up some courage and I've gone and bought another one of these Star Wars Metal Earth Darth Vader TIE Fighter kits. And I'm going to use some of my own advice and I'm going to give it a second try. Second try because if you look on my channel, there's a previous video where this just did not go right the first time around. So I'm going to try a few different tricks and see if I can't get it together this time. And just like before, you have two metal sheets and some instructions. And these instructions aren't exactly laid out in a clear pattern for you to understand where to start and where to stop. It seems to up here tell you to curl this around into a ball and then attach these sides. And I believe that's where I went wrong last time. So I'm going to do it a little differently. Instead of rolling it all the way up into a ball this time, I'm going to try to attach the side pieces first. Actually, I'm going to assemble the side pieces first. This is so far working a lot better because I'm able to actually get in there and twist the tabs to make these more secure. Whereas before, when I made the complete ball, it's very difficult to get your tweezers in here at an angle and actually twist the tabs like you're supposed to, which is why this particular one came apart. So I'm hoping that's quite a bit more secure. Now the next thing that I had a problem with were the little, I believe they're guns. They're very teeny tiny, and it's very little to work with to get them on there, and they both ended up breaking. So we've got a little idea here. Where are these teeny tiny little pieces? Fold in half, but not completely flat, and have to go into two little slots on the front of this. Problem was, there's so very little to hold on to. Whenever I would fold them in half, they would squitch. They would actually, I would try to get them in there and ended up pinching them all the way shut and had to open them, and pinching them shut and had to open them, and then eventually they broke in half. So try to do something a little differently. I don't know how well this is going to work. Try to put something in between them to keep them from shutting all the way. Let's see if I can twist the ends. There, that actually worked. And it also helps a lot that I've left this open so I can actually get in there to twist properly. Yeah. And that's probably as good as that's going to get. So I'm going to work to close this up. Took a little break there. I essentially put this piece together wrong. Put one forward and one back, and then it fell off. So I took a break. A little bit of frustration, a little bit of I've been working at this quite a while. But fortunately for me, I had spare parts because I never completed the first one. So I used the parts from the first kit that I never finished because this part didn't go well, and I made the stand and part of the model. This bottom corner of the page here starts off making this. This top quarter of the page starts you off and walks you through making this center part. The bottom right quarter, you bring these two together, add a couple of extra pieces on, and you're done. So I will pick up from there and continue. I am finally done. Darth Vader's TIE Fighter is finally complete. It was an adventure. It was challenging. Honestly, feel like I could, if I could afford to get 2 or 3 more, I could keep going and perfect this a little bit. I still ended up with a backwards piece and a broken piece. The broken piece is up in here. You can barely even see it. But it took 2 kits to get it this well. And if you look up close, that front part is kind of wonky. I did the best I could. But in the end, finally it's done. Hooray. The hardest part is getting these sides on to the center ball and getting these guns on. That's the hardest. The next hardest is getting these front and back pieces rounded and connected, because there's a lot of little tabs that line up, and they did not all line up. There's a couple that just got bent over and hidden. And same thing happened where it connects here. There's 1 or 2 that there just wasn't lining up. They just got shoved over, and everything else is holding it together. So it's challenging. If you have steady hands and better eyes than me, you can most likely do better than what I've done. You have to pay real close attention, not just the instructions, but to these pictures and to logic. Before you go sticking everything and pinning it down and twisting tabs, you might want to check 2 or 3 moves ahead to make sure it makes sense to go that way, because it is real easy to put this part on so that that hole is backwards. It is real easy to mistakenly put the stand the wrong way. It is real easy to put one of these pieces inside, or many pieces inside out. so that it doesn't quite look right. So pay close attention. And if you're thinking about doing one of these, I suggest checking out my other video, the first one I tried. I've already had one or two people that it's helped out, thank goodness, that used some of the advice I had in the different ways to start putting it together, and they were able to do it, and that gave me courage to try it again myself. So I shared a video that I wasn't going to share at first. It helped somebody else and they helped me. That is awesome. I love that about YouTube. If you have any questions, any comments, leave them down below. Thank you for watching, and keep on keeping on.